Hey guys, this is Elam from It's About Watch Reviews. I had a request for a review on an Orient watch, so here I am with one. This is the Orient Star DJ00002W, so there's 4 zeros in there. This is actually known as the Star Seeker. If you've heard of this watch online and on the forums, I'm not really sure why it's called that. There's 2 variants of this version that's been released in the international market. So this is the off-white beige dial version. There's also a black dial version. I've also heard there's a Japanese domestic market only version, and that has a leather strap instead of a bracelet. So again, this is an Orient Star. Orient, as you may know, is actually owned by Seiko, believe it or not. So Orient Star line used to be just a Japanese domestic market only, and so you were only able to buy it from certain vendors online, unless you go to Japan. So and buy it there. But now Seiko and looks like Orient too is releasing these in the international markets, which is great. It's a good move for them, I think, so that us Westerners, I guess, will be able to see the quality of these Japanese-made watches. So again, kind of a general quick guideline about this watch. This is an automatic watch. It's 41.5 millimeters wide, so from one end here, and you'll notice that there's this kind of part that's sticking out of the case there. I'm not going to include that. So from the one end to this end is 41.5. If you include that little crown guard, there's about 43 to 44 millimeters. Thickness is about 14.5 millimeters from top to bottom there. And then its lug width, so just in case you want to know, if you want to change this up to a strap, is a 21. So between this lug and that lug is 21 millimeters wide. Okay, so what's cool about this watch? As you can see on the dial there, it's an automatic watch. It's a GMT, meaning it's got that nice fourth hand, I would say. It's the GMT hand. And it's also got a useful power reserve window. It looks like it starts at the 11 o'clock and a date window. So I actually love this watch, by the way. You get a lot for your money here. So Orient is, again, owned by Seiko. So you get the quality, and you can kind of tell here too. So I'm going to flip it to the back, where you can see the case back there. So you'll see an Orient. I'm going to open up the clasp so you can get a better view of the case back. So look at that. There's actually striping on the rotor, Orient Star, and you can see the heart beating there as well. But it does have a sapphire crystal. The screw down case back actually says the top of the glass is sapphire. It also has, it says made in Japan right there. And it's water resistant to 10 bar, which is 100 meters or 330 feet. I don't plan on diving with this watch, so it's not made to be a dive watch. But it does have some pretty good water resistant qualities. Okay, so again, I'm going to talk a little bit about the movement. So Orient usually has, kind of the basic movement where it can't hand wind, can't hack. This watch, however, is equipped with Orient's new caliber. So good news, it does hand wind and it does hack. So what that means is this crown at 2 o'clock actually winds the watch. It's actually a pretty smooth winding crown. It is a push and pull crown though, so again, usually it's in a closed position. You pull it once, then you can set the date here. Pull it in the second stop, then you can set the time. Now, this crown here at 4 o'clock actually rotates an inner rotating bezel, so I'm going to unscrew it towards me. Now, watch 24 here at the very top here. I'm going to start spinning this crown towards me, and you'll watch it rotate You can also rotate it the other way, so it's bi-directional. This allows you to kind of get 3 different time zones if you wanted to, so you can sync this up with your actual hour hand or your GMT hand. It's pretty useful. I don't use it very much because I'll actually just use a second time zone using just this red GMT hand. But if you need it, it's there for you. To close it, again, this doesn't screw down, so you just push it in and then you can just start screwing. So it does screw down there. So it's back on the 24. So what's great is, again, so I mentioned this movement. This caliber name is it's 40P51. It's 22 joules, and it does hack and hand wind. So what that means is when you set the time, the seconds hand will stop. So then you can sync it with another time keeping apparatus, whether it be your clock, another watch, your cell phone, and so it's easier for you to kind of set the time. What else do I like about this watch? It actually looks good. I'll show it to you on my wrist here. So my wrist size is about 6 3/4 to 7 inches. So you'll get a good idea what it would look like on your wrist. So if you look at the power reserve, it's a little bit hidden right now. So right now it's at the max of 40. I'm actually getting a little bit more with this watch. It's about 45, 46 hours that I can get out of the full movement wind. But for example, what's nice is if that meter was, say, to go down to 20, you can actually just wind it, I want to say only about 10 times, and it'll probably gain just almost full, if not full. So it's nice, you can kind of get a gauge of when your watch will wind down. But you do have roughly a little bit, just under 2 days of power reserve. So the top of this, what's great too, is it's sapphire crystal, and it has an anti-reflective coating on the inside. So it does help with glare. So there's actually not that much glare, which is great, and that's because of the anti-reflective coating on the inside. Really great. So the MSRP of this watch is $1,100. I think that's current as of now. You can get this watch new online for roughly, I want to say around 600, even as low as 600 to as high as 900. But an average of around 700, 750. So it's just great for what you get, right? So you get an in-house movement by Orient. You get a hacking movement, a hand-winding movement. Again, 22 joules. You get, so remember, everything's in-house. So this is, we treat this just like as a manufacturer. Orient manufactures this. And again, it has a power reserve feature, a date window. So all around, really great. The bracelet width, the lug size is a little bit interesting because it's 21 millimeters. So it, if you have a lot of 20 millimeter leather straps or 22, you could probably squeeze a 22 in there, but it's a little bit of an odd width. So just want to let you guys know. But I'm going to put it on my wrist. So again, my wrist size is 6 3/4 to 7 inches. This is actually, it's got pretty good wrist presence. So there it is from the side, so you can see how thick it is. So it's not that bad. The sapphire crystal is flat, so you can see that kind of flat, but it does protrude about a millimeter, maybe slightly less than a millimeter. But again, this is about as big of a watch that I'll use. I normally wear 42 millimeter dive watches to 43, but this is a 41.5, and you can see, luckily the case lugs don't protrude out my wrist, so it looks really nice actually. So remember that dial it says light off-white color. It's not white. It's a beige color. It's also not silver. So hopefully this video doesn't show it as silver. But look at that red GMT hand, just really, really kind of very legible. So again, guys, this is the Orient Star Seeker model DJ00002W. On bracelet, look at that. You can see the nice the Orient Star logo etched on the back of the dual push button flip over there, or deploy it. It's technically called a deployant, so dual push button. But again, such a great movement and good quality, good value. The case is both a combination of brushed on the side. The stationary bezel is polished, so yeah, it'll probably get. Again, this will fit just barely under a shirt cuff. But as you wear it, and if you have a watch, you should wear it. You'll get to kind of get light scratches, and that kind of just goes with the watch. I got this watch, I'm going to say about 7 months ago. But overall, a nice watch. I don't think I'll get rid of this one. It's just a good value. And at the time, I believe I got it for around $500. But again, guys, this is a great watch, Orient Star watch. If you do get one, try it on. If you have other Orient watches, let me know what you think of those. But Orient Star line is a step up from just your basic Orient watch. So you'll notice there's an Orient and the Orient Star line. Orient Star, again, used to just be in the Japanese domestic market. It's now out in the international market. And if I zoom in very close on the dial, you can see the made in Japan. I'm going to try that one more time. Right there. I want to see if I can get my pen right there so you can see it, but it's going to be kind of hard. Yep, there it is. So made in Japan right there at the tip of my pen. And again, guys, 22 joules automatic movement. And this one beats at 21,600, so it's not as fast moving as your basic Swiss automatics at 28,800 beats per hour. But again, awesome watch. Alright, thanks again, guys. This is Ilham from It's About Watch Reviews.